Hi folks, it's Frank Zinck from Adventures Outdoors. We just finished our second trip across Newfoundland on the ATV, and we haven't even unpacked yet. We just unloaded this off the truck, so we thought we'd go over Post-Motem as to what we did differently compared to last year, how we packed and what we packed for this trip. So this trip was a little bit different in in 2017. We had most of our emergency supplies and tools and stuff in the front, and we had clothes and camera equipment and things like that in the back. It was a bit problematic because this is way more open than the back, so and as well the camera gear we had in a Tamarack knapsack that was strapped to Connell's quad, so when it rained we had to make sure it was really watertight and everything else. It was a real pain, whereas the front of this is watertight. So this year we put all the electronics in the front, so it was a big difference. But what we did with our clothes, we bought from Amazon these vinyl waterproof knapsacks, and so these were strapped to the top of our quad. So as you can see, they're perfectly watertight. When you pull these up, you just gotta push down on it to get the air out and then roll them up. I mean, there's no water getting in that. Everything was dry, whatever rain we had. So we decided this year to put the, to put all the gear, clothes-wise anyway, on the top. So I think that really helped. And these bags were amazing, and being knapsacks made it easier when we were on the boat, so that we could, carry this up with other gear and things like that. We'll definitely do that again next year. That was the way to go. Connell and I used rubber boots, just knee-high rubber boots for the whole trip. There's water everywhere. So Joanne opted this year not to. I think she's going to go with rubber boots next year, but used galoshes instead on her hikers. And they worked fine. I mean, it worked even when it was raining. But just the ease of taking hikers and wearing rubber boots is the way to go. Now, this is going to be a complete mess. But anyway, it's just, like I said, we just got home. I did have a little bit of space there for my boots. Bought these at Princess Auto, 14 bucks. The knapsacks we bought on Amazon, I think they were around $45. What do we have here? Well, a little bit of garbage from the trail. So, our trusty little beer cooler, that was always good to have. Tire pump, gloves, some wipes these are good for glasses, camera gear. We just buy them at Walmart. Good for the visors, all that sort of stuff. We use that. What else have we got here? More popping stuff. Gotta have toilet paper. Inside some rope, some bungee cables, things like that. Extra little dollar store dry bags if it was really going to keep cell phones. Cell phones dry, or your wallet or whatever, so we always kept that in there. More trail munchies. My trusted little first aid kit has everything in it, from my registration, insurance, to afterbite, to matches, to another little bit of toilet paper, to bug spray. This is the essential, goes with the quad everywhere we go. So that's kind of an important little rig. Sunscreen. We brought some peanut butter bars, some almonds we never used, gum, some more munchies, an extra drive belt. If you're, I just figured I have a CF Moto. There's a few CF Moto dealers in Newfoundland, but I was afraid that if a drive belt went, they'd have to order it, and it could take a while to get in. So whereas more than likely any mechanic can put the drive belt on for me, so we did that. Some duct tape. We do lock up our quad at night, and I just run it through the back tire and onto the bumper, to lock it up. Connell has one that's even thicker than this one actually, that he got off of Amazon. What else we got here? So the air filter that I have, I chose to go with a washable air filter because on the trail it's just terrible. If you're leading, not so bad, but if you're in the back, kind of rough. So this is the air filter cleaner and oil. We've got in here a fire extinguisher and a sock so it doesn't get all banged up, you know, knife. We've even got dust masks, some more sunscreen, things like that.
So for the ladies, on my point of view on how I experience it sitting in the back, wear comfortable clothing. I like to wear tights, but I don't like to wear capri length ones. And the reason being, there's when you're going up the side of the brush and the alders and all that, it flings and it hits you in the leg and it scratches your leg up. I did that the first year, on the first day, and I refused to wear them after that. But if you're more experienced or have a, you know, side by side, you may be all right with that. I always wore my hikers, never wore my flip-flops or anything, just for safety reasons. Also, I have a pair of quick dry pants. So the quick dry pants were perfect. I always dressed in layers, as Frank had mentioned, and I'm always cold throughout the day. So I had like a t-shirt, a long shirt, a shirt that went over, then I had my jacket and possibly my rain jacket and my rain pants on, and then I just peeled things off as the day progressed. Other than that, the other thing, I don't know if Frank mentioned, is we like to wear balaclavas, the ones that can go over your head or whatever. We wear those around our necks so the back of our necks don't get burnt. I found that really helped. And another part that it helps is, especially for the ones that don't like the bugs, is when you're going through a bad area with bugs or whatever, I was able to pull the balaclava, this type that we have, up over the head, and it kept the bugs away. I mean, they're still there, but it helped protect the back of my neck. I brought two, so I kept one on my neck and then one on over my head.
When
and
we were stopped.
And you can put it up on your face as you're riding as well. If it's getting dusty, you just pick it up and put it on. So even when it was raining, I actually put it up over my face, and it was perfect. So those are just little things you can think of. It's not very comfortable. It's comfortable sitting on the back, but it's not comfortable being in the back because you have a lot of up and down. So I'm being flopped around back here. Another thing that was beneficial for us is we had
Communicators.
Thank you. The other beneficial thing in the back is we had communicators. So the three of us were able to communicate. There was one, Frank was the master, so he could only direct the calls to each person. We couldn't contact each other than Frank contacting us. So that was really beneficial. So Frank and I would be able to talk the whole time during the trip without screaming our heads off at each other, although we did that a little bit too. But that's just a word of advice for there, and just sit comfortably and enjoy it because you're going to see some amazing things. All right, one other thing that I did differently this year in comparison to last year is I had this bag for years and I forgot all about it. During my trip, I carried the camera. Our GPS stand broke, so I had to carry that as well. So I was carrying a lot of stuff in my hands and into my jacket, and I was trying to hold on for dear life, and I created a lot of issues with my elbows. So this year, I brought this side saddle Swiss Army knife bag so that when I'm riding, I can make it as tight as I want, and it just sat there, and it's just for quick things. I have a Canon DSLR that we shoot the video with, because typically I do all the video and Frank will do all the other electronics, and everything's in here. That camera actually does fit inside here, and you know, I have my little ladies makeup, a little quick accessories, you know, lip gloss, hair, elastics and whatever. And this one actually comes with a rain jacket, so if it was raining, I could still keep it on, and just like that, I could saddle, and even if I was hot, I could unzip, and it's going to be waterproof and what have you. It was a great little purse and has a couple little side pockets. I recommend it. It didn't flop around or anything. It's perfect for this type of ride.
All right, so in the front, we realized halfway through the trip it was easier to just take our rain gear and strap it to this little bit that I've got here, because if it was raining, you're going to take it off and wear it anyway, so it's not like it's going to get wet. And anything that splashes up, I mean, it's no big deal, it's rain gear. So we found it easier to just strap our rain gear here, which gave us a little more room inside the trunk and the front space. Of course, we have Moosey, our mascot. He's been through 2 trips so far. This guy survived all our excursions so far to Newfoundland. So in the front, it's mostly electronics. The camera that Joanne's got is was in here. Needless to say, I have a GPS that mounts here. I use a Garmin 64ST, and it's a godsend and something I would never leave home without, especially if you're planning to get off the T-rail and go to logging roads, because they're just a maze. So I was able to put in the trunk my drone. Some of you have seen some photos, some video and photos of the drone. My GoPro bag, and all these things fit inside waterproof bags. So I bought these at Canadian Tire, so they fit in there, so that if it does rain, although this is waterproof, there's just an added level of protection from the water to have dry bags. So I carried, a couple of the dry bags. Some of you have seen some shots with my gimbal. The gimbal fits in this dry bag here. What else have I got? I've got some, and this is something we didn't use this year, but was always good, was a splitter for the quad, where you can charge your phone or GoPros or whatever as you're going. We didn't use that this year. We basically charged everything at night and we were good to go, so we didn't really need it. We also carry glass cleaners for GPS, windshield, or for the helmets. This stuff worked really, really well. It was compact, just fits down inside a little cave, so it worked well. I took extra bungee cords. Joanne and I both bought neoprene gloves, and for the days that it was raining, these worked really, really well, because it kept your hands dry, but it also breaks the wind down. Like, there's no wind gets through the neoprene. Obviously the water doesn't get through and the wind doesn't get through. So on days that were really wet and cold, I mean this really helped me. And we bought these at Amazon. I don't remember, they were like $15. So yeah, I thought this was a really good purchase and nice to have during the trip. We also brought a monopod for some stuff. Gotta have the tripod if you plan to do anything serious in terms of your photography. I had a little mini pod, little mini tripod, another little dry bag. This is normally on the quad. I can't put it on the quad when it's in the truck, but this just goes in the trailer hitch, just in case we had to tow one another, so that I got a place to tow Connell for when his Outlander breaks down. Unfortunately, yeah, that wasn't the case. It's my quad having the issues, the CF Moto. I lost some steering control this trip on the last day. Not sure what's going on. I'm gonna have to take it into the dealer and see what's going on with it. Really upsetting, but we didn't miss out on anything. We were still able to drive around and do what we needed to do on the last day. But there's obviously something wrong with the CF Moto and the steering, unfortunately. So lastly, besides the rain gear, I mean, it's warm in Newfoundland. It does get cold in the evenings, but we would dress in layers, but like a soft shell jacket that's windproof, like these ones that we bought, I mean, these guys work really, really well. If you're slightly cold, you throw this on, it stops the wind, unzip it, let the wind blow through. These were perfect. They worked flawlessly. It's exactly what we needed for the temperatures in the evening. If we wanted to go out around or just go for a walk or whatever, or just hang out outside the cabins. And for the mornings that were damp and cool, these work perfect. And if you got really cold, you just put these on and then slapped on your rain jacket, dressed in layers. So Joanne took another little lighter sort of sweater, kind of a bit of a shell as well, but it's really light. You don't need much more than this, at least not this year. We didn't need it. In terms of clothes, we basically had on day 4, I think it is, we did day 3 or 4, the cabin we had has a washer and dryer, so we were able to wash our clothes, but we didn't take much more than 3 pairs of pants and maybe 5 t-shirts. We took a couple long sleeve t-shirts so you don't get sunburnt if you're driving all day, and you know, your regular socks and underwear, but we like I said, we were able to wash on day 4, so it means we didn't have to pack a whole lot of clothes, so you know, we were good with that. That's basically it. I mean, we didn't take a whole lot of gear. I mean, you don't have the room. I wanted so desperately to take my fishing rod and get a non-resident fishing license, but you know, it just didn't make the cut. I didn't have the room. I was afraid it was going to get damaged because it would have been packed in here so tight. The one thing I would say is that if you're packing, you've got to make sure that it is tighter than a drum, because there's so much bounce, so much bouncing around that the stuff gets rubbed and scratched and damaged, and so you know, the tighter you pack it, actually the better it is for the gear. So for me, I had you know, I had it so that you just kind of push down on the lid in order to close it, and same thing with this one, and it kept everything kind of from bouncing around. If you know, if you need any advice, I mean, I'm more than willing to offer you my experiences. There's other people out there who have tons of experience, and even more experience than I have of quadding across Newfoundland, but ask them as well. But you know, if there's anything I can do to help, I certainly will. I hope you enjoyed this little clip as to our you know, post trip to Newfoundland, and if you did, I hope you subscribe to the channel. And look, we'd love to see some comments, because maybe we're not taking something that you did, and maybe you've got something that I would love to take. Please post it down below in the comments, because we would really love to see what it is you took or what you would take that I haven't mentioned here, and let me know. But please subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you later. Hi, I'm Frank Zinck. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want more great videos like that one, just click right here. Also, if you want more information, please head on over to my website. Thanks for watching.